What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Hey man, check it out. I got the Harbinger VARI SM505 and SM508 studio monitors in the studio, and we're gonna check them out right here, right now on this channel. It's about to go down. So, you ready? Here we go. When you're mixing in your studio, one of your main concerns that you come across is wondering whether or not that mix is great. You want to know, does it translate when it leaves your studio and it goes to somebody's headphones, or it goes to someone's car, or maybe their sound bar at their house? You want to know, does this thing really sound the way it sounded in my studio? There's nothing more frustrating than getting that out there and it doesn't sound like that. Well, Harbinger took that into mind, and they devised a couple of speakers here, a couple of monitors here that really do address this topic. These monitors have the ability to mimic other speakers so that you don't have to run down to the car anymore or run across and check them on your phone anymore, all by just simply pressing a button through what they call digital signal processing, or DSP. The first thing you want to do is put them in reference mode. Now, once they're in reference mode, this is the mode that you would use to mix. This is what you're going to listen to when you're creating that music. This mode is designed through digital signal processing to make sure that you're getting the most clear and accurate version of your, or representation of your music possible. So this is where you want to start. Small is what typically is you're going to hear out of headphones or AirPods or something like that, some small speaker that sticks right in the ear. Now this, what happens is, gives you an idea what your mix sounds like when it goes across. Is it still clear? Is it over bassy and you're losing some vocal? You're going to be able to tell by simply pressing that button and listening to what those speakers sound like. Now, once you do that and you say, you know what, that sounds great. Now let's check out the normal button. Now the normal button is kind of interesting. And even when I was playing with it in the studio, I did notice the difference between the normal and the reference, and of course on the small. When you press the normal button, it seems like the whole song came to life. Why is that? That's because the normal button represents what you would hear in a car, like when you re-EQ in a car, or maybe on some bigger headphones, or maybe a seriously large sound bar in somebody's house, or a nice surround sound system or something. That normal selection gives you that body that you would normally hear, what you expect to hear when the song is on the radio. And that's what these speakers do. You can go from reference to small to normal and check your whole setup of mixing before you release it to the public. You don't have to run down to the car anymore and double check to see what it's going to sound like, because you can do it right in your studio. This is going to save you a lot of time by using these speakers. Now, while we're on the subject of these speakers and how you can go back and forth, let me just talk about the sound. I turn these things up really loud. Believe me, these things sound amazing. Press them, push them. There was no distortion. There was no hiss. There was no pullback. There was nothing. There was no clipping. These things sounded really clear. And it didn't matter if I was playing something that I had pre-mixed and was working on, or if I was playing something from the radio or whatever. It did not matter. When I pulled it out of my music account, it sounded amazing. It didn't matter whether I had the 5s or the 8s. These things sound amazing. With that being said, you really could pick either one and not go wrong. Don't feel, it doesn't matter. They sound great. One of the things that I think makes them sound really great is the fact that the bass port is on the front, pushing the air towards you for bass, making certain that it's not just getting trapped behind your monitors or trapped up against the wall or in a corner somewhere. Even though you're going to have that happen in any studio, it really does focus that sound right on you, and it really does sound amazing. Now let's talk about connecting it up to your studio, because that's really a very important part. It doesn't matter what type of connection that you have, whether you go XLR, whether you go RCA, or whether you go 1/4 inch, it does not matter. Whatever your situation, whether you're connecting to a soundboard, whether you're connecting to an interface, does not matter. They have a connection for you on there. You have the high shelf and the low shelf so that you can tune your speakers to your room and to your liking, so that you're making certain that you're getting the representation of the sound that you truly want, to make certain that it comes across in the mix like you want to. They've thought of it all. High shelf, plugins, 3 selections, everything's thought of in these speakers, and I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. Speaking of connecting these speakers, they didn't forget that you might want to try something a little bit different, especially in your studio. These things have Bluetooth audio set up on them. So that means you can pull out your phone, connect your phone via Bluetooth, and listen to everything in your music library. And it doesn't matter if it's Android or iPhone, it does not matter. You can listen on your phone or tablet simply by Bluetoothing in left and right. Now let me try to drop a little bit of specs just to give you an understanding. Of course, we talked about digital signal processing, we talked about the port, but let's talk about the tweeter on both of these. On the 5-inch, you get a 35-watt tweeter in the front and a 65 or 60-watt 5-inch woofer on the front of this thing, and I'm telling you, they sound amazing. But if you need to step it up and you want an even bigger sound, you got to go with the 8s, where you get a 66-watt tweeter and a 100-watt woofer. And believe you me, there is a difference in sound in loudness between the 5-inch and that 8-inch. These things sound amazing. The sound will fill up your room, shake the house, shake the studio, and I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. You're gonna get really good representation of your music, whether you're just jamming and having fun or actually simply trying to get a great mix. So what do I think in conclusion? I think Harbinger got something on their hands. This was a shock. This came out of left field somewhere. I did not expect to hear this. I did not expect to see this. When I got them, I really thought, okay, let's see what's going on. When I turned them on, when I pulled them out the box and felt the weight, when I said, okay, they're on to something. But when I turned them on, woo, yes sir, they got it. These speakers sound amazing. For the money, they're worth it. I put them up against anything. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. These speakers sound great. Go grab you a pair.